This is the process shot. I'm Michael. I'm stuck in a haunted movie theater, and I've seen The Wolf House, a surreal animated fantasy drama from 2018, directed by Cristóbal León and Joaquín Cociña. Hopefully, I pronounced those names right. Framed as a cautionary fairy tale about what lies outside of a religious cult located in Chile, the story follows Maria, a young woman who runs away and hides in an abandoned house outside of the colony. She begins a new life with two pigs who were inhabiting the house before she found it, taking refuge from a wolf that supposedly lurks just outside her new home. Over time, those pigs begin to change into human children, and what seems like a dream becomes a nightmare as the reality of her situation begins to settle in and her adoptive children reveal their true nature. There isn't much that is said about the cult that Maria escapes from, but there is certainly a sense of an allegory within this film, despite supposedly being a story that supports its cause. It starts with Maria entering into a new world and having a fresh start, and like a mother, she begins to care for children who can't quite otherwise help themselves. It leads to her beginning to exude the same sort of control over them that she had been so desperate to avoid, though within the story it's almost presented as an allusion to parenthood rather than leadership. Either way, it's a system which begins to show its flaws soon enough, as her control over the others shows its limitations. Even outside of these allegorical elements, the surreal nature of the story, its magical realism, and the literal and figurative darkness found just barely underneath the surface is entirely captivating. It all almost thrives on the unsettling tone and progress of the story, where everything feels as if it could fall apart at a moment's notice, which is really what helps to pull the audience forward and through the story, in spite of its lack of other writing or character strengths. Of course, given that this is made out as being a fairy tale, the simplicity of these characters is only to be expected. Less expected is the actual physical construction of the film, which is definitely what stands out, not only within the movie, but among other stop-motion features. It's all shot within a life-size environment, which immediately gives the world a sense of realism, but the story is told through a combination of multiple artistic techniques. It opens with living paintings, with Maria herself painted across the walls and doors and other objects as she moves about, before eventually emerging as a life-size figure. This pattern of 2D and 3D imagery continues throughout the film, with these elements often interacting with each other, and ultimately emphasizing a sort of fragility and temporality of the environment and what lies within, as if it were an analog to the instability of Maria's idealized life. It also lends itself well to the creation of somewhat grotesque imagery, especially when it comes to the darker elements and the deconstruction of this world. The film's editing is also a strong suit, though it's more to do with its lack of any rapid cutting and the semi-seamless presentation that it offers instead. The last key piece to the film's greater tone is its sound design, which is rather quiet and brooding, which makes for a bit of suspenseful horror when events start to pick up and the silences become foreboding. That might be a bit flowery, but the point is that the movie has an excellent grasp on maintaining its atmosphere and tone across the whole of its story, and because of this, it knows how to express this through its actual visuals, ultimately becoming an excellent work that is highly stylized but entirely accessible. The Wolf House, Cristóbal León, Joaquín Cociña, 2018. 4.5 stars. I definitely recommend giving it a watch. That's it for this review. If you liked it, leave a like. If you have something to add, leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews. I really don't know what else to say about the movie, mostly because I don't want to accidentally spoil anything. Not because I can't think of anything else to talk about, but more because the movie is just really kind of short. Not that it's a bad thing, of course.